Hey everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. But welcome to another edition of Make Every Second Count Live. We're we're on this show to help you guys, so feel free to ask as many questions as you would like. Feel free to share this out with as many people because I know this is going to be powerful. I have a stupendous guest tonight, and I absolutely love her to death. She has the most beautiful eyes in the world, and she's probably blushing in the background right now. But I have to say that, so I thank you guys again so much. But my name is Jeff Marconette Jr. I'm your host and award-winning Make Every Second Count speaker. But I want to say that please share this message out. Invite people to watch this message because Jayme is going to rock your world. Hi, Jayme.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for having me, and I hope I can live up to all of these grand things you say about me. Awesome.
You're going to live up to everything I say about you because it's all true.
Thank
So,
you.
if you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself, I'm going to be inviting some people on my phone, and we're going to be telling all kinds of people that they need to be watching with us.
Okay,
All
awesome.
right, cool.
I'm Jayme Gage. I am the host of the Female Coaches and Retreat Leaders Society. Um, I live in Austin, Texas, and basically what I do is I help female coaches make a bigger impact in the world. So we do that by like collaborations, networking, and really learning how to, get seen, get visible in the world. So yeah, if anybody's interested in that, I have a Facebook group, Female Coaches and Retreat Leaders Society. So check me out.
That is awesome. But you forgot the most important question, and that is why do you do what you do? Why is it that you wanted to lead these women to the promised land?
Hmm. Well, I guess like what I want in life, like if I could make any difference or impact, it would be just to make like people have like happier relationships, get along more, be happier in their life, like be happier like right now, where they're at. So I do realize like I'm very limited in what I can do. So for me, like to be able to kind of partner with other people and help promote other people who have different skills than I have, who do different things than I have, or than I do, you know, makes me feel like I will be able to make an even bigger impact in accomplishing that.
That is fantastic, and I so thank you for taking the time out of your busy evening to be here with me and my viewers. But I would like to say hi to Jeannie McGarvey. Oh darn it! And then I did away with the comments. And then hi to Andrea Johnson, who's watching us from the Bahamas. Hi
Nice.
to my dad. Hi to Brittany. Hi to Sarah. Hi to, I guess that's Brittany. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird the way it's spelled, but sorry about that. And then I want to say thank you guys so much for watching with us. Please give us all kinds of likes and share this out with all kinds of your friends because I know this story can help somebody, if not you. So, Jayme, I know I called this episode How Long Would You Try Something If You Thought It Was Impossible? Now what did you face that seemed impossible? Because I know that you went through some stuff that wasn't easy.
Okay, yeah. So what had happened, I came into a situation where, I found out I was pregnant. And I was very sick, and I wasn't like in a stable relationship or anything, right? And I had, basically, said that I kind of think this is my intention, right? In my mindset at the time, I really didn't see like the gravity of like what was really happening, right? So I decided that, I was going to go ahead and get an abortion. And in order to do this on my own, I had to go to the clinic, to drive myself. I had to do this abortion with no medication, no drugs, right? Like I was doing this all on my own. And I thought that for me, that this was the best choice that I could make in my life. I thought this was no impact, right? But what had happened is I was, laying on the table, and something just so unexpected happened. In this moment, I literally felt like a spirit leave the room. And I just like realized in that moment, like it just like was a reality hit me, like a gravity hit me, like what just happened? What did I do? And I was kind of like traumatized, and I was like devastated by what had happened, because I kind of realized like I thought this wasn't real, right? Like I thought that this was just a like a choice you can make. And I want to point out that I am not, um I'm still pro choice. Like you can do whatever you want. This is just my personal situation. But so I left that, and yeah, I was definitely in an impossible place in my mind of how can I, like, I think I wanted to take control back in my life, right? Like this had happened and there was no like rectifying. Like you couldn't go back in time. I couldn't change this. I could never reclaim this. This had happened and it was over, And so I sunk into like a pretty deep, suicidal type of depression at that point. And in my mind, I felt like I was trying to logically figure this out, right? Like, how can I, change this, right? Like, how can I make this right? And I guess I decided like the only thing I can do is to try again, right? Like now that I've given this up, now that this isn't what I want, like I want this. So I set out to pursue, having another baby. Um, so, it maybe took like another year, and I got pregnant again. And I was pretty overjoyed, right? Like I was overjoyed. I'm thinking like, okay, like I'm going to have another baby. This is going to be great. But when I went to, I didn't get to get my ultrasound until 8 months because of like insurance reasons. When I went to my ultrasound, um, and some people may know this look, right? Kind of the look they give you when things are not right, like, and you just kind of feel in your stomach like something is so wrong here. So then they told me, like, okay, your baby has anencephaly, like it has no upper brain, right? Like it didn't seal properly, so there's just no top of the head. Like your baby is going to die, and it's not going to come out on its own. You need to like, basically you're going to have to like force this force this to happen. So I kind of I came to, I guess, terms with going ahead and having the labor happen. And so there was a lot that went into that too. But after I had buried my baby, I think I went into a period of self-medicating, right? Like I started drinking for like a year of my life, right? Like I was just in a lot of pain. I mean, I was still set on this happening, but it took me like another year to get pregnant again. And this time, I'm thinking, okay, I'm pregnant. I'm at about like 12 weeks and I started spotting, and so I went in and they told me, like, no, this embryo is not developing. You're just going to have to like let this, miscarriage happen. Um, but the miscarriage, it started happening and it was just really, really bad. Like I was just bleeding out, by the time I made it to the emergency room. Um, I was passing out. They were giving me, huge needles for blood transfusion. And, basically, like, we have to, operate on you. Um, so I just remember, um, laying in the hospital at this time, like, I am just like, almost bleeding to death. And I'm just so, um, just so sad, right? I just felt like, can I just please like die now? Like I'm so tired of trying to pursue this. Like this is just not working. Like I'm basically trying to force an outcome, right? Like I'm trying to make this happen. It has to happen. It must happen and it just won't happen. Like I can't change it. I can't force it. And I feel like at that point is kind of when I came to enough pain in the struggle to just give up and say, like, you know what? I'm just going to be like, I just have to accept like how my life is. I have to stop trying to force this. I have to stop having my whole life revolve around um this one thing. And so I guess like that like I didn't stop, trying, but I stopped, I feel like the need to be stuck in um the guilt and the sadness of my original choice, right? Like I decided, I guess, to stop feeling like everything, um that I could control anything, that I could control anything in my life, like kind of to just go into like surrender. Like, if this happens for me, it happens. And if this doesn't happen for me, like, I will just like live my life. I will just have to live, you know?
Now, I think a lot of people would have trouble coming to that point, have trouble deciding that, hey, if this is going to happen, it's going to happen, and I'm not going to be able to control it. Now, how did you get to the point where you could say those things and actually mean them?
Um, well, I don't know. I mean, I think that I think that there were a lot of things going on in my life too. A lot of things where maybe my own personal like self-loathing um had kind of allowed me to sink to a pretty low place, like where so I guess there was just a lot more, than the than the loss involved for me. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, and I just wanted to take a second here. We have somebody watching in the Dream Grind Hustle group, and her name is Holly Williams,
Hi, Holly.
and she says, "Thank you for sharing. I've watched my dear friend go through something similar, so tough. Thank, thankfully, you're an overcomer. Praise God for being thy strength."
Aw,
So
thank
I
you.
just wanted to I just wanted to read that one to you because I think that's a pretty cool one, and I just want to show you that no matter what you think, no matter what you feel, how embarrassing your story is, or how much you don't really want to go through your story, I want to tell you that there's power in your story because your story is not meant for you. And the things that can be taught through your story are so powerful, so helpful to other people that are going through similar or even different things. And by giving someone the encouragement just to move on, just to accept the way things are and don't always try to force things, that's pretty powerful. And I appreciate you in your willingness to tell this story.
Thank
But
you.
so I would like to ask if you have any um any suggestions for other people, any tips, tools, ideas for people that are going through something maybe similar, maybe not similar, but they can still use these tips, tools, and tricks.
Yeah. So one thing I really felt afterwards was that I had no education, right? Like I got the abortion, but I had no education of understanding like how your hormones affect you, why I felt so sad, you know? And because I was in like shame and embarrassment around it, like I sought no support, right? Like I didn't tell anybody anything about it. I didn't, tell my family at all. So, yeah, I would say, like, even if you are ashamed, like, you could look for support. And I feel like if I would have had some logical support to understand that maybe a lot of what I was feeling was like this hormone drop, and that a lot of this depression maybe wasn't all just around, like, how sad I was. I think that that would have really helped me. So I have felt like people that I've talked to, about their own personal stories, that it is important that they understand like the steps of grief, and that they understand like how what they're going through, could pass more easily if they know that it could be a lot of the type of like pregnancy hormones leaving your body, and that those are, temporary, right? And I just didn't understand that.
I'm sorry. I have to interrupt you for a minute here because we just had another comment from Dream Grind Hustle from Holly Williams that
Okay.
says she hemorrhaged and lost her second baby. She can empathize with you, but it feels good to know that she's not alone.
Yeah, thank you, Holly. Yeah, I mean, I feel like, um, one thing that you really find is that so many people have gone through it too, and these are like the support that you don't get when when you don't share. You don't really realize how many people have also like gone through the same losses. So, yeah, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that, Holly.
Yeah, it's just amazing the amount of people that have reached out to me, not only during this show, but other shows, and have told me that this has helped them, that hearing that other people go through things too is beneficial for them, because oftentimes on Instagram or Facebook, people see the highlights of other people's lives, and it doesn't leave any space for the things that go wrong. But they also need to realize that those are people too. They might be living this highlight reel at times, but I guarantee they're going through something. I guarantee, well, I don't guarantee, but I promise you that they're going through stuff too. They're just better at hiding it, and they're better dealing with it. And each and every person out there handles things a little differently. So do all right, let's see here. So I realized that this was terrible, and you didn't have a large circle or anyone really that you could lean on. But how can people see the circle that they have? How can they rely on other people if other people don't recognize their pain, or if other people aren't told that they're in pain?
Um, well, I guess it depends on, um, for me, I did have varying situations, right? Like when I did lose my baby, my family was there, at the viewing. And one thing that was really not embarrassing, what was really amazing, um, was how they were able to kind of like hold space for me. And even though I felt like kind of guilty, right? Because I was holding, my baby's body, and I was just crying for like hours and hours. I felt like in front of everybody, and they kind of just sat with me through that, and I felt like, so I feel like that can be hard too, to realize like maybe they don't feel bad to do that, but you might feel guilty to put them through that, but yet they may have more capacity to listen and to be there for you than you imagine. That would be I feel like it was more than I even imagined would be possible. And I feel like many of us, and I, like I said, felt like that was kind of selfish to, show so much grief, like almost like in our culture or whatever, like you said, like we're allowed to show certain emotions. We're allowed to look like we're having fun. We're allowed to um, be awesome and be successful, but are we allowed to fail? Are we allowed to be like devastated?
Yeah, the way I feel, you have to fail. If you're not failing at something, you're really not trying at something, because failing is just a part of life, and you're going to fail and fail and fail and fail all the way until you win. But you're not going to just get out there and win right away. Granted, there are people that just go out there and hit a home run the first chance, but you know how long they've sat back in the minor leagues, or sat in a backyard, or sat in a batting cage and just swung that bat, just taking those swings, missed that ball even. You see, there's all kinds of failing that people do that the world doesn't see. And
Yeah.
that's what I think people need to realize, because unless you fail, how are you ever going to win?
Yeah, and I think the other thing is really true. Where when you do go through a lot of struggle, or where when it does take you a long time to achieve your goals, they can seem I guess so much sweeter, right? Like how like I wonder um if I would, because I didn't mention, like, I actually was successful eventually, and I did have children of my own. And I really wonder, like, if I would, feel the way that I do towards them if I wouldn't have had, this longing for so long, you know?
Yeah.
Because I came from this space, right, of like, I don't know that I want kids. This is a lot. And, I don't think this is like it had to be right for me to go forward with that. And then once that happened, like when it came to, I guess, like I say, trying to redeem my situation, it was also me saying, like, I am going to be brave, right? Like that was a fearful action. Like I was scared of the future. I was scared of that. And then I had to go the other way and say, like, no, like I am actually going to do this thing. The thing that I didn't want to do is the thing that I'm going to do, right? Because that was, I don't know. I guess I just hated myself and judged myself, but so I decided to go into the thing that I didn't want to do. Um and then, yeah, backtracking, the point is like I do wonder, um would I feel the same way that I feel now if it wouldn't have taken me so long, if it wouldn't have been so hard.
Yeah, I completely agree because after my car accident and while I couldn't walk and all this stuff was happening around me and I felt like I was missing out on that stuff, but I eventually got to the point where I could walk. And now that stuff all matters to me. All that stuff that I would have just seen and let go at one time, it matters now. I'm so much more thankful now just for being alive that it's amazing. Each and every day I see is a great day now.
Nice.
And before it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it gives you, a whole new perspective on life, and just appreciation, you know.
Yes. Yes, but I definitely want to tell you thank you. I see some comments here that Maria Papa Meyer, who is from Massachusetts, says you learn every time you fail. Sometimes people just highlight the successes and don't let people know the struggle. And that's so true. That's what I was just saying about only showing highlights.
Yeah,
But
thank you, Maria.
yeah, I definitely want to thank you, Jayme,
Thank
because
you.
you rocked this show and I absolutely loved it. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here, to be with me, to be with my viewers. And I want everybody out there, including you, Jayme, to do me a favor.
Okay.
I need you to make every second count. Why? Because you never know when the seconds are going to run out on your one life. Hey, until next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you.